Hi, this is Tom O'Connor of Advanced Discovery. I'm here at the University of Florida, Lavan College of Law for their 4th annual eDiscovery conference. And it's hosted jointly by the law school, with Bill Hamilton in charge, and the EDRM, the eDiscovery reference model, with of course George Socha, the leader of that group, who is also here hosting. I'm here right now speaking with Mike Quartararo of Stroock and Lavan. I had to use my cheat sheet there because I always get the names wrong. And your title, Mike?
Director, Litigation Support Services.
Okay, Mike was a speaker. He just finished up a session on a panel. Hey, why don't you tell us a little about what you were speaking about?
So we did a panel on collection of ESI, focused on a particular scenario where we had a client who had numerous custodians across the country, and we're trying to figure out using both outside counsel, a litigation support professional, and a service provider, figuring out the best way to collect that data.
And what did you decide?
We decided, it's more of an interactive experience where we want to really get questions and things like that, so the audience can learn more about the tool that we're demonstrating. But the crux of it was we presented a client with a problem. We had a lawyer who gave some legal advice. We had me giving the technical or litigation support related advice. And then we had a service provider who came with his software to perform an actual collection. He demonstrated that software. So the end result was that you could use this tool to solve the client's problem.
Okay. And I know the particular interest of yours is project management. You're working on a book. You made in reference to the fact that it's close to release.
It is, right? Close to release.
What do you see as the struggles in project management, and especially in light of the workflow that you just described?
So really, the bigger challenges in project management is people don't really know what it is. And so one of the things I try to do with the book is explain and demystify some of the principal concepts of project management. It's not overly difficult, but if you dig into it a little bit, it's easy to understand. Having a process for everything we do is incredibly important, because the things we do need to be repeatable and defensible. And that's the end of the day. Process is the steps that you take to get to something. And if that's a defensible process, then...
And that's a key statement that's come out in a number of decisions. It's a repeatable, defensible process. We're not just making this up because we like to talk about a subject, right?
No.
Are lawyers embracing that? Are they accepting it? What's the reaction?
So my research in the course of writing the book is that very few firms have actually embraced project management as a whole. And so we need to differentiate too up front about the difference between running a firm using project management, which requires a really high level of buy-in, executive management, and sort of top-down leadership.
Right.
And opposite of that, using project management in more discrete ways, like to run a litigation support department, which you don't need the executive buy-in. Sure, you want to tell your supervisors what you're doing, the firm management, the company management, whatever. But the point of it is, and I'm actually going to be doing a panel on this at ASEDS next month, ask forgiveness, not permission. It's really that simple, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's no reason, even if your firm is not a project management oriented firm, that you can't implement project management in discrete ways, whether that's in lit support or in records or in or marketing or any other aspect of the firm. Individual departments could implement project management methodologies.
Now let's go back to the panel that you were talking about. You used the example of a client, an outside counsel. How do you impose project management principles in that sort of a triumvirate? Who's calling the shots on that?
So I think the first thing you do is, and it's a great segue, because the first thing you do is identify your stakeholders. At the end of the day, the client is paying the bill. So you may call your client a stakeholder, you may call your client a sponsor, because they're paying the bill. Really, someone needs to be the project manager. Someone needs to lead the project. The hope would be that the lawyer would do that. Not all lawyers are equipped to do that. So then I would look to someone like myself or someone who works for me on my staff to do that. And from there, it's just a matter of planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing the project. every project is different in a way because you have different circumstances, different
Right.
facts. The law is a fact-driven engine, right? And without those facts, I can't honestly sit here and tell you how every project that I've worked on is the same, or how I would work on one in the future.
Are business clients more likely to embrace that because process management is a tool they're familiar with in their environment?
I think clients are foolish not to embrace it, because anything that you can do in the electronic discovery process that makes something someone is doing more efficient is going to be applauded by a client.
Okay, so let me ask you two. Craig Ball just asked me this question. Where do you see this going over the next year and a half, 2 years?
Well, I mean, I would love to see all law firms and corporations and service providers embrace project management as the best way to do things. I think that's a lofty goal that's not going to be reached anytime soon. But again, I go back to individual leaders within business units, whether it's a legal department or a litigation support department at a firm, or some aspect of a service provider. There's no reason why you can't learn more about project management, implement those methodologies, and begin to offer better service to your clients.
Okay, great. And secondly, I said I'd ask you two questions. When can we expect to see the book?
The book, I just read a sample chapter. The publisher has not given me a firm date, but we're probably looking at 4 to 6 weeks, I think.
4 to 6 weeks from today, which is
from today, end of April.
The end of April, we'll hopefully see it. So perhaps by the time ACEDS rolls around, maybe that's
I think we're not going to make ACEDS, and that was the point of the panel I referred to earlier. I think we may not make that panel, but shortly thereafter, I'm certainly going to start putting out some stuff. I've got a website that I'm getting ready to roll out.
Oh, good.
And people will be able to, I don't know about pre-order, but they'll certainly be able to sign up for further information and get alerts.
Excellent. Well, we certainly look forward to that. Mike Quartararo from Stroock and Lavan?
Yeah, Lavan.
Lavan. Thanks again, Mike.
No problem.